I don't know, man. I have no idea what the hell I'm going to believe in anymore because I keep watching flat earth content providers and they're good. They're real good. I love the people that stick to scientific facts and evidence and they avoid getting involved in this whole fucking dog and pony show, which is people having radio shows and making a whole event out of this. This is a serious topic for all of us. We shouldn't be making radio shows and having guests on and calling people fans. I completely agree with that. We should not be doing that. And in fact, that's exactly where it went. We've got now figureheads that are being prominent figures that are starting to group together because they see other people doing the same thing. And whether it's just an association that they come up with or if it's planned or who the hell knows what's going on. But when I start seeing people come together and provide content together in a way that doesn't really help progress the movement, especially if they're talking bad about other people, I like to kind of avoid those people. I'm going to bring up a name here, Del from Beyond the Imaginary Curve. I've been watching Del's work now for, I'd say, 8 months since I started looking into things deeper and deeper as they went on. I like Del. He is a no-nonsense guy. He will stick to certain points. He constantly reaffirms with his audience that he's not associated with any of his guests. If somebody comes on his show and starts making claims or they start talking about whatever they want to talk about, he's quick to say, if they cut off, he'll go, hey, just so everyone knows, I have no affiliation. I'm not associated. What they did, they come on here, they talk about their platform. That's fine. They can say whatever they want. It's a free platform to express their opinions. Now, I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly okay with that. But at the same time, I see people that are content creators joining with other people who have not been in the movement for that long, but somehow have popularity already. And they're very sketchy. For instance, Flat Earth Asshole, my man, what are you doing with IPS, dude? Why are you driving across the United States with unknown money? God knows who has money to do a fucking road trip right now, but why are you teaming up with this dude, IPS? That whole interview that you gave, the whole Albuquerque, whatever it is, I don't even know where you guys are, but the last piece of video you put out with you and him, I am just like blown away by why you would even associate with somebody like that. I know you're trying to feel him out or you're trying to vet him or whatever, and kudos for going and seeing him and making the effort to see people, but just look at his content. He has nothing. He's just a voice behind a screen that talks about things that everyone likes to hear. I'm not a creator. I don't put any scientific proof out of a flat earth. I don't, but I observe. And this is my first time coming out now and saying this because I do not like that people are starting to team up with people who do not have a very good repertoire with people right now. IPS is pretty much in everybody's mouth. Everywhere you go, someone's talking shit or promoting him. And to be honest, I don't know where this guy came from in the last 4 months because it's very sketchy. And then you watch the interview. We're going to play a little bit of the clip right now, but you watch the interview with Flat Earth Asshole and him in the same room. And this dude is not only throwing up hand signs from Masonic fucking bullshit hand signs that we all know and see, if you're awake to some type of truth, you know not to do certain hand signs because they're affiliated with a group that is pretty much behind the deception of what we're trying to expose. So the dude's wearing an Illuminati eye pyramid on his fucking shirt. He's drinking out of an orange cup. I know it's speculation and it's theory. There's no proof, but there's a lot of stuff that this guy's doing that we've seen patterns in before from other people who are known Masons. The guy's even an admitted fucking Mason. He admits to it. This is like there's a bad smell coming off of this entirely. Now I'm just judging from what I see. All right, FEA, you went there, you met him. That's fine with me, dude. But that video is kind of making me think twice about what the fuck are you doing? Why are you driving around and visiting people? That just sounds like you're on a mission to have a good time. You're meeting fans. That's great. You can still connect with your fans, but you don't have to go on a fucking road trip. You didn't do one single experiment, dude, on the entire road trip. you're just driving around and meeting people and drinking and having a good time. That's fine. You could do that. I'm not saying you can't. And you have a YouTube channel. You could do whatever you want. That's fine with me. But it's very suspicious right now, because this is a time in the movement where we do not know who to trust. We have no idea who is an agent, who's genuine, who's just in it for entertainment, who's getting donations with monetary purposes behind it. Why are we listening to some people and not others? Well, that's because we look at the content. We can't just look at somebody on the internet and go, oh, this person's genuine. No, you have to see their work over time, slowly, what they put out, what they say, who they affiliate with. When I see people sitting together on camera that haven't been together, like fucking Antonio and Patricia Steer, I was just going through some of her shit to see what she's putting out, and there's a video where they're sitting in the same room together. Like, what are you guys sitting in the same room together for, talking about fucking flat earth and hot potatoes? Like, that, you have episode 300 by now on there. What are you guys talking about 300 episodes in that's helping this movement? You're not. All right, some people might say, oh yeah, it's a blog for people, or a vlog for people to go on, or a discussion panel that people who are already in the flat earth, they can go there and meet other flat earthers and talk about nonsense. That's great, but there's not enough of us yet to start joining little fucking radio shows and talking about stuff. All right, there's not enough of us to say, hey, this is a pop culture entertainment aspect now because everyone's on board with it. No. See, I go out in my daily life, I talk to family, friends, people on the street. Everybody still believes that the fucking globe is real. They still believe it. We all think that we're in a little bubble here and that, oh yeah, everyone's waking up. No. You see, people are not waking up. We think they're waking up because we only look at the people we look at, which are other flat earthers. That's great. But they're not. There aren't enough people out there that are awake to this. And we think, oh, let's just start making an entertainment aspect about it. Let's get a radio show going, and we'll have guests on, and you're calling people your fans. Like, it's a little narcissistic in my opinion. You're in it for publicity and fame. Here I am sitting in a fucking chair. I've never done this before, but now I feel like I need to come out and express my views on this because there aren't enough people out there exposing the bullshit. And that's why I support Dell. All right? Dell will sit there. He'll get into a fucking fit of rage over a topic or a personality or something, some misrepresentation or a fallacy or whatever the hell he's talking about. He's passionate enough to show his true colors on camera about how upset he is when this shit happens, because he just wants to stick to natural science, activism. You're right, grassroots activism. And who knows who plagiarized who or who started it first. It doesn't matter. We shouldn't even be talking about that. We should all be focusing on going out there and planting seeds in other people's brains, because there's not a lot of us out there, okay? You talk to people about it, they think you're crazy. That's the first step. If people started hearing about this and they don't think you're crazy right away, then you might think we're making a movement. We're making some type of impact because, it's questionable now in society. Is the earth flat or a globe? We're not there yet. All right, I was talking to my uncle. I'm talking to my parents. I finally got my parents to jump on board with this. And they're starting to look at NASA's shit. They're looking at SpaceX. They're looking at these videos I send them with these anomalies and all these wire harnesses and pictures of the globe with the clouds. It's like, what the fuck? Why are they faking real if it's real? Why do they need to fake it? So my parents now, it took a long time, and we've had a lot of arguments. And believe me, we've been there back and forth, fighting about this. Get a job. You should focus on your life. Why are you getting all, caught up in this conspiracy shit? Oh, blah, blah, blah. Everything I could possibly get from them, they were, throwing my way. And that's fine, because at first they didn't see it, all right? But after I showed them enough proof and evidence, didn't take a day, didn't take a week, didn't even take a couple months. It took like 8 months for them to finally look at this stuff and acknowledge that, yeah, something's going on here. This is very strange. Nothing adds up. Why are they finding all these new planets all of a sudden? The SpaceX, how are they landing a pencil fucking rocket backwards on a moving barge? Like, all of these things that they see now, they're starting to realize that I'm right, that there's a deception at play here. And all I ever see Dell do is expose deception. All right, and I've said this before. I've been on his show twice. I called it a show. I shouldn't even call it a show. Look at me falling for the fucking entertainment aspect of things. I've been on his panel to discuss my own opinions outside of his own, and I explained to him that, Dell, you yourself are exposing deception. Okay, you can't expose deception and deceive people at the same time, because the deception becomes obvious. If you find somebody exposing something, they can't hurt you with what they're exposing, because they're telling you how the deception works. Right? And he'll try his best to not talk about people. But if he has to bring up a name, or if he has to mention somebody or what they did, or why are they talking about him, or, empty gestures, whatever the hell it is, then he brings them up. And yesterday there was a giant fucking blowout between him and Antonio. Like, at first, I don't know why, but Math decided to join in and give his opinion, and I'm still very questionable about if he's genuine. He seems to be a little spaced out, but, he's got some good facts. I've seen his content, and he has been there for quite a while. You go back, you look at his channel, you look at his content. The dude's been doing YouTube videos about Flat Earth for a real long time. All right, so it kind of makes sense that, yeah, he could have started it, but, we're not really here to say who started what. We're here to just continue this message that we all believe in. We all believe that the Earth is not a globe. All right, that's the first objective truth that we all agree on. So then why are we finding that Antonio and Dell are having giant fucking arguments on live streams over who pointed the finger at who's a hypocrite, what did this person plagiarize, what did they... It's like, that right there is exactly what we need to avoid. And I'm very upset at you, Dell, for even entertaining that. Or you had to defend yourself, I get it, but, we can't bring up people's names unless they've done something directly that we can prove is wrong or against the movement. See, we're all speculating who we can't trust anybody. We know we can't trust anybody. There's new people coming in all the time. There's people that are huge. If you like one person, you don't like another, then people are going to look at you and go, well, why do you like that person? That person's a shill. Well, when did everyone become so keen on exposing shills? Like, if this guy's a shill and you follow him, then you can't follow this guy. But if this guy or this gal, says this and that, but they buddy up with this person, all of a sudden now we can't watch this person anymore because they're associated with this person. It's madness. It's fucking madness. And I'm sitting here trying to take in as much information as I can, and all I'm seeing is just more and more infighting as it goes on. And it's planned. This is divide and conquer all over again. They do this with politics. They do this with race. They're doing it in the fucking flat earth community. And that tells me right there that there's something to hide. Why, like, if we all agree on one thing, but why are there some people coming out there being more in line with a model, or another one saying they want to just debate people all the time? And you get Dell, who wants to just do straight up activism, which is great. But at the same time, Dell will mention some people. And obviously Antonio was listening in on the presentation because Antonio likes Dell's work. He even said it. He goes, this is great. This is awesome. You're doing a great job. I love your content, but why did you say this and why did you say that? And then obviously, Dell he's a passionate guy. He's going to get upset. And they had this giant blowout over a fucking who said what, who pointed fingers. It should have been dealt with logically and said, hey, listen, I don't appreciate you saying this. And the other guy should have said, you know what, you're right, I'm sorry. If they're both genuine, they would have made good on it, and they wouldn't have caused a fucking uprising like they did. Look at the fucking conversation. Like, it wasn't even a conversation. It was an argument that turned into a heated debate, and Dell got really upset, and Antonio just is like, oh, okay, he knew he was right in his head, but they're both wrong because they shouldn't have fucking done that. Because now you have people that like both of them, like myself. I like Antonio's work. He presents things logically. He presents good points, and I've seen his debates. As much as I don't agree with his debate aspect, because we shouldn't be debating. We should be, showing proof in easy to understand forms. That's great. But when I see my two favorite flat Earth content creators come together and have a terrible argument like that, I'm like, what the fuck? Now, I don't want to pick sides here, but I know they're both kind of wrong for even getting involved in such a fucking infighting argument. So I'm just going to step back from all of this who I follow thing. I'm just going to start pulling content from each creator, analyzing it, and then just making my own assumptions, because you're right, tip of the break. Antonio is a bit of a provocateur. And you said tard. That's funny as well. He debates people and he likes to be right. I agree with that. And he is normally right. Every time he has a debate, he's spot on, and The globe head that he is, fucking arguing against or debating against, they're bringing up things that they can't prove, and we're sticking to provable natural science. So that's what I like about him. He's sticking to things we can test. And Dell as well. Look at those flat earth interviews. I don't see too many people going out there putting out, 20, 30 videos of interviewing people for hours at a time on the street and asking, Socratic method questioning and getting everybody thinking like that. Like, just look at Dell's work. He goes out there, he does it. He's got time to do it. He also has time to have a family. You can see the true colors come through on the screen, right? And that's what I appreciate about Dell. Antonio, I don't really see too much activism. I see a lot of good points he brings up. He's got a good thing with the gyroscope. He sits there, he'll deliver an idea, and he'll back it up with evidence, and it looks great. That's fine by me. So then why do we have both content creators coming together and trying to make something negative out of this movement that we all need to unify on? Now, I don't know who to trust. Dell shouldn't have gotten angry like that. He should have calmed down and addressed the situation. And Antonio shouldn't have came in and said, I had a bone to pick with you. And although it was face to face and it's a manly thing to do, it could have been done easier. Like, hey, Dell, why did you say this? And then he explains himself. There's always some type of misrepresentation going on, and both parties are never guilty, which is making me very difficult to pick sides here, because I don't really want to pick sides. I want to like both of them and the content they put out. Yeah, no, he is looking for some type of negative attention. Yeah, no, I agree with that. And look at Patricia Steer. Like, I've watched her stuff, and it's just her in front of a fucking camera with a flashy little microphone in her nice house, right? And it's all about her. Her face is the biggest fucking thing in the photo. I don't see too much scientific evidence coming out of that screen. I just see her face. So talk about narcissism. When I look at that show, I'm just like, yeah, this is all about this one person here and people that come on and promote her. And she's got a pretty big following. I'm not going to lie. Like, it's fine. You can have people that like you and listen to your work, but there's really not a lot of content coming out. There's just a fucking radio show. And she has people on, and they come on an interview, and then anyone that's on that show now, I have to be questionable about, because, the one time I see Antonio and her sitting together in the same room, now I'm like, well, now I can't really trust Antonio that much because he's associating with flat earth and other hot potatoes. Like, I can't really say for sure who to trust in that scenario. And then I see Dell, and he doesn't want to really associate with anybody except, he's got Gav that comes on, who's a great backup for him because he's a mathematician, or so they say. I've not seen the documentation, but I believe it, because when you hear the guy talk about math, he knows what he's talking about. He backs up the curvature formula. All right, we can prove this on paper. So these are things that we need to take and run with and show other people. But, it's an open panel for anyone to come on and express their ideas. So people should also be respected there. They should be able to come on and have logical and proper conversations and air their grievances. And if they don't meet eye to eye, then, you work it out and you don't leave in a fucking fit. But, if you poke Dell too much, he's going to get mad. And, the whole IPS Math Powerland thing, another one, that's a good point. It's all ego. Everybody's in it for themselves. Yes, it is about discernment. It's about learning what the fuck is going on and analyzing it and then making, a logical conclusion and then looking at it again. You can't just do it once. You have to keep watching these people. You have to keep watching them, and you have to keep seeing what they're doing and saying constantly. Because if you look at one thing and you go, oh, this person's a nice person, and you never watch any of their stuff again, then you're doing yourself a disservice. It's deception for a reason on all scales. No matter if it's a globe deception or if it's a person on YouTube deceiving you and leading you down the wrong path. It's not the way to look at things and just stop and go, okay, I made my assumption. It's a constant struggle, and all of us have to do this now. All right, we all have to analyze everything because there's going to be more people. Yes, that is a fisheye lens. It's my GoPro. I use it as a webcam because I just figured out how to use it over Wi-Fi. So it's a little It's a little fisheye. My room might look like a globe to you guys. Uh, yeah, that's it. John is he's also great. I've seen his stuff too. Him and Del. Now they say they don't associate together, but I do enjoy it when they come together. They did do that 3-person interview with the 2 students on the bench. So seeing all of them together was great, and they did a real good, respectful job about it. But, Dell says he doesn't associate with people. It's just him, and then I see people on screen with him. So he's got to say that differently. He can't, because he is associating with Gav and John and Marshall. They're great. They're all there together, and they're all for the same cause. But it is a little bit weird to see him and everyone out there, and then he says I'm not associated with people. Whether he goes out there or not with them on some days and not on others, I believe Dell is in it for himself there to just say, this is me. I don't want to be misrepresented by other people associating with me. So, if he believes in people and trusts them over time and their content, then that's great. He's gonna come out and he's gonna do things with them. That's awesome. People should do that. But when I see Flat Earth asshole driving across the United States and, he's just in Vegas and harassing people on the street, I have to go back now and look at his content and go, well, yeah, he had some good stuff here and blah, 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 but is this person really in it, or did they just put that stuff out there to deceive me? So we can't be just looking once and then moving away. We have to constantly analyze it. And as more people come in, like even if I start making videos, I want people to look at all of my work and constantly assess it for what it is. I look at IPS and I don't see a shred of anything on there that says that he's genuinely interested in objectable truth. What I see is an art show. What I see is a lot of mumbo jumbo talking about things that we all can speculate on, but there's no proof. It's crazy. I also believe that FEA is a good guy. He's posted his true colors many times, and he's not afraid to show his face, and he goes out there and he does a good job at getting the message across. And he has done a lot of work. No, I agree. But now I see him shacking up with IPS, whether it's, innocent or genuine or whatever, if it's planned, I don't know. But to see them in the room together, and after I've been listening to IPS's work for a while and realizing that he's just a fucking charlatan, now I have to go back and say, is fucking Jake Gibson in this for himself, or is he in it for all of us? Because how quickly he made a decision to sit down and just fucking, and just associate with somebody that pretty much everybody out there is like, they know who IPS is. It's not hard. He's taking Matt Powerland's name and he's using it on television. He even admitted of using somebody else's name on television. Right? So, this is drama. And here I am now talking about it. No, Math actually fucking got rid of FEA. He's like, you know what? This guy's dead to me. He's pretty much like, I trusted him and now I can't trust him anymore because this guy IPS is like associating with, first of all, Flat Earth asshole, but he's also using Matt Powerland's name, but under the guise of Matt Boyland. So when I saw like on the news that, there's a Flat Earth billboard up in Philadelphia and Matt Boyland, and I'm like, who? Matt Boyland? You mean Matt Powerland? Like, first of all, I don't even know what the guy's real name is. He uses like 2 or 3 names. But I saw that, and then I saw a greasy-haired dude sitting in a chair being interviewed by the mainstream media. So, like, dude's an admitted 33-degree Freemason. The entire friggin' video, he's throwing up hand signs and doing very suspicious things. Mainstream media is featuring him in an interview to discuss the billboard. Those are, like, real red flags to me, because a genuine person would not be presented by the media to people. Because once they get that aspect of talking to a large crowd, the media, then, if Dell was ever on the media, like he went to the fucking BBC that day, they didn't get him on the TV show. They didn't want to talk to him, but all of a sudden some greasy-haired dude named IPS who has nothing to prove for any of his work is coming out and getting on television. Red flag. All right? That's a fucking red flag. 32nd, 33rd, that's true. I agree. It's an extra level, it's an extra degree, and personally, I have no idea what going from 32nd to 33rd means. I don't get it. You're right. Flat Earth Underground, they're selling shirts, whether that's, to help people. I can go out and make my own shirt at a fucking print store down the street. I don't need to buy one. I am. I'm totally making negative assumptions, but they're not just assumptions, though, because when I look at Dell's work, I see what he does, and I see that I'm not assuming. I see that he has put out great stuff, and he's dedicated, and it's not only beneficial, but it's showing people how they can go out there and do the same thing, not to be afraid. When I see IPS, I just hear this guy talking sweet nothings to us about, all types of stuff and more theories and speculation. And, he's called Infinite Plane Society. Like, do we know it's an infinite plane? I don't know. Like, I can't say. Dell's called Beyond the Imaginary Curve. We know there's an imaginary curve. So, like, it's not, we're not claiming it's an infinite plane. We're just saying that there's no curve. We all know that. We should focus on disproving what they tell us, not starting to speculate and start doing some fucking model shit about, the sun goes around the earth and the sun is rotating and then this is why this happens. Dell's always like, we can't talk about that. We can't measure it. We can't prove it. So we have to start over. I do believe he has some type of background in marketing. I don't know what Math Powerland did not consent, because then I just watched something this morning about Unsilent Majority came out and actually did a live stream video with, not video, but he had Math Powerland on. And Math is like, listen, I fucking disown Flat Earth Asshole. I don't know what the hell I was doing. And he goes, the dude used my name. They're harassing him somehow. This is all speculation. I can't prove any of it, but the fact that I see this guy's not using his real name on television is also a red flag. That's right. You will know them by their fruits. You're exactly right. Well, I don't know. I don't know how much that billboard cost. I don't know how long it's up for. I don't know why he's using someone else's name. I don't know where this guy came from. You must be an IPS promoter or follower, at least to some extent. In the interview, they said he is associated with it. $900 for a week? That's actually really freaking cheap. Well, that's fine, Tip. If you're friends with somebody and I'm saying stuff you don't like, that's perfectly okay. You could defend your friendship, but once again, it's all assumptions and speculation. We can't prove any of it. But at the same time, I'm over here looking at stuff and I'm just trying to make sense of what the fuck's going on right now, because people I thought I could trust are starting to look a little suspicious, and people that are suspicious are starting to look more suspicious. No, that's fine, dude. That's fine. I didn't know that was $900 either. That's actually pretty damn cheap. Yeah, and the interview, they did say something. Let me bring it up real fast, because I just want to point out how quickly FEA was willing to promote this person. And it's just like, my God, like why would you? He's sitting down in the same room with him, and normally Jake is like all about making great content, and then I have to look at that and be like, what the fuck's going on? Give me a second here to find it. And then Unsilent Majority put out the real Math Powerland video today, and I listened to that, and once again, it's just listening to somebody talk, but Math is on there talking about what the fuck's going on. This guy's using my name. Let me go to Flat Earth Asshole real quick. Hold on. Let me try and get my screen on there. What the hell's going on here? Position and size fit to screen. Let me see if I can get this going. There we go. Sorry about that for a second. Okay, so I just did that, didn't I? Let me come back. Sorry. Boom, boom, boom. Sorry if I don't see chat for a second here. There we go. Okay. Yeah, let's just go right to this video real quick, unless there it is. 2 days ago this happened. Your videos so are good. It spread real fast. But let me just point out some stuff here, because the orange cup, the Asshole, Illuminati late eye, night live, something or another, and all put together like the premier live chat dealy, and this is gonna be my thing.
look, you got 674 people watching. You'll have a big audience, and people like this level of engagement. You can tell by the comments.
Yeah, absolutely. Once I've done a few, I'll get over the just reading like, thanks.
You know what I see here? I see FEA unsure of himself right now, sitting in a room with a guy that he really doesn't know. He's just meeting for almost the first time. I'm sure they've had a chat online, but he just looks like, he's not sure about what the hell's going on right now. I know it's probably his first time, his live chat or whatever's going on, but I don't think this guy did enough research. There I am now fucking blowing him up for saying, listen, FEA, I don't like this shit. You've been moved to my questionable list now because, this guy here was kind enough to post
66 of you watching.
It's a section of the video where the guy says
with this money, which will
666
easily
people
get
are
me
watching
across the United States and back. Like that right there, you guys, is enough gas money to probably take care of me.
Like, come on. Look at that, and just tell me that that's not a little bit suspicious. All right, the eye, the hand signs. He's thrown up the devil horns about 3 or 4 times. I've counted them. He's drinking out of an orange cup. If you know anything about orange, I've studied this stuff, and whether it's just fucking theory or not, I'm aware of what's happening, and I'm aware of these patterns that I see in everything, not just in fucking YouTube videos, but in the news, the media. There's calling cards and clues everywhere that lead back to one fucking group behind all of this stuff. All right, the architects of our reality. They fucking build the reality. All right, so when I see that, and I see a guy with a fucking 666 hand sign, it's not just spookism, dude. It's patterns, all right? It's patterns. I've seen them in everything. Sandy Hook, Pulse nightclub, the Texas shooting. I can go on all these fucking fake news stories and events. They always lead back to the same group, all right? Now, I'm not saying it's always this one group, but when you look at these patterns, when you look at the numerology, when you look at the whatever the hell's going on, the lack of evidence. I put out a video of the fucking Pulse nightclub shooting, all right? And it's already been put out multiple times by people, all right? I'm not saying I'm the first one to do it. I'm just saying I made another video to back it up, all right? And I will show you what the fuck I'm talking about. All right, now, I'm no expert in this, but when I see fucking crisis actors, walking in front of a camera and putting down a guy who's being carried who can't walk, what all of a sudden this guy can just be on his feet again, and these people look back at the camera like, this here is telling me that something's not right about this. I've been in the emergency services for 8 years of my life. I was a volunteer firefighter. All right, I know what emergency scenes look like, right? And they don't look like people fucking getting carried away and then standing up again, right? If you're bleeding from the leg, you can't stand on your feet. Not to sidetrack, but what I'm saying is events over the course of time that we've seen on television for the past 10, 12 years that are fake have patterns, all right? And they all lead back to a group of people doing it, and they leave their calling card behind. I don't understand what J cert a brother. I am just a brother. Well, yeah, you could be a part of it, dude. That's fine. I don't know if you're aware of what's going on. That's right, Illuminati. Orange is 33. Now, I drink out of a white coffee mug. Pretty sure if I was, trying to speak some truth here, I would not be, fucking doing things that look like they're a part of a group of people that are trying to deceive people. Like, if you've done at least a month worth of research, you'll come across the Freemasons, all right? And you'll realize what the hell they're about. 33, orange. When you look at these events, you see it everywhere. You see these things, not just those two things. There's multiple things. And when you're on camera talking about truth, I wouldn't be wearing any triangles. I wouldn't be wearing any eyes in pyramids. I wouldn't be throwing up any of these fucking hand signs that people are doing. Right? I wouldn't be doing any of that. Now, I just did them on camera. Someone's going to go, oh, look, he's in on it. I'm just saying, I would not be associating myself with any of that if I'm trying to get the truth across. It's not exactly, I don't know, dude. 20 years in the rabbit hole. I've been in this for 2 years, okay? I knew something was up with 9/11 a long time ago, but I also stepped back, and I took some time to be back in the matrix. I didn't really jump into this as at the level that I'm in now, and ever since I came across some flat Earth truth, I've been like, wait a minute, there's something here, and I looked into it, and I knew that these shootings and stuff by then were all fake, and these terrorist events are all hoaxes, and I know they're trying to pull over the wool on everyone's eyes and get them to give up their liberties and freedoms in exchange for security and safety, when it's just the Hegelian dialectic. It's just the same thing, right? And then, I see people coming out and saying that they're Freemasons, they're admitted Freemasons, they're ex-Freemasons, and then if you're getting on camera and you're wearing that shit and you're doing these hand signs, like, Jake Gibson, I am going to slap you across the face, dude, because that was a really bad call. You shouldn't be associating with anybody at all. You could vet them, that's fine. Don't put it on camera. Don't do a fucking hangout or a chat. You guys didn't talk about shit in that fucking chat, right? You didn't talk about fucking shit. You just sat there and you fucking ate up some publicity with him for like, I don't know. How long was that? Let's go back and see how long that fucking video was. I didn't even watch it. I got so sick of watching it. I'm just like, you know what? I can't really grab onto this anymore. And that being said, let's just jump over here real fast, all right? Unsilent Majority. I don't know much about this guy. I've been seeing some of his stuff. He's got the technology to put out some good content. He's got the gamer chat. He's got the green screen. That's fine, dude. I've been on there in his chat, listening to him and talking with some people. I see him here now supporting math, and they're bringing up this guy who's Matt Boyland, who is some reason a guy on IMDb is not Math Powerland. It's just a little weird that Matt Boylan, Math Powerland, like, there's a play on names there. I don't know the association. I don't know why this guy's misrepresenting it. But this is like a fucking 3-hour chat with him trying to defend himself. Now, I'm not saying he's right, but, I'm just saying that this guy that came out, who we've not really seen much from, IPS, is all of a sudden just like, his name is in everybody's mouth. Why? Like, what the fuck is going on that this guy is being talked about? Who promoted him on everyone's channel? Is he making that much of a stink out there that everybody's just like hating this dude? Like, what the fuck? Give me a second here to catch up on chat, guys. Illuminati, I am totally subscribed to you, dude. You got my name. I had to do Illuminati vids because you were quick enough to get it. No, yeah, I know. I mean, like, I can't judge him yet. I haven't seen any content. I just see him coming on and being another personality. And I'm guilty of that. Here I am now coming on. I don't have any content I'm putting out, but I'm trying to assess and judge things. I'm not really supporting people too much. Like, I will support Dell because I've seen his content. I know he's putting out good stuff. Math Boylan, I know he's been doing stuff for a long time. Math Powerland, whatever the fuck his name is. I've seen his videos. He's been around. I'm not too sure that IPS is good though, man. You got to show me some stuff. He's got to put out some things over time to sway me in that direction. Otherwise, I'm just not gonna be able to jump on the bandwagon as quickly as FEA did. It's here we are now discussing things that are happening within our movement, and it's more drama. All right, every time that we talk about personalities like this, it's drama. It's always going to be drama, because this person said that or this person said this. It's because we're not all on the same page, right? And we got some guys putting up billboards. We got some people going and doing interviews. We got Jake Gibson, debunking famous, debunkers and calling out Joe Rogan. Don't even get me started about Joe Rogan. Like, I see a concerted effort here to not only cover up the globe lie, but also to fucking detract people and to keep people fighting. And I just can't jump on board with anybody as quickly as I thought I could. And it's all about discernment. You're right. It's about honing your discernment skills and getting better at it and trying to see through every single type of deception that's out there, right? Because everything is a fucking deception. When you wake up to the truth, you look at things and you go, yeah, GMO in the food, fluoride in the water, the flu shots aren't helping anybody, they're spraying the skies. All these things that everyone calls conspiracy theories are actually true. Because when you realize it, we're all just fucking slaves. We're free-range slaves, and they put up a fucking wall in a cage, which is the Earth, and there's no barriers. They tell you you start here and you go around the globe and you come back at the same place, so you can't leave it. That's a cage to me. It's a cage with no walls. All right, and then we find out that we can't measure this curve. All right, so then if there's no ball, if there's no curve, then it has to be flat. All right, and that tells us it has to be flat because we look at water. Water is level. It always seeks its level. It's flat. It cannot curve. The only time we see a curve is in a photograph from a government agency. All right, so are we supposed to throw away all logic and observable, objective reality that we share to say, hey, this actually defies logic because we have a photo of it and that's proof? And then, Dell would come in and say, oh, I have a photo of, a fucking pink unicorn that I'd like to sell you. Give me some money and I'll give you the unicorn. Here's the proof. I have a photo. It's like, well, no, of course there's no unicorns. But, the government showed me a photo. It's got to be real. People, they're so quick to believe in the government while they hate them at the same time. If you ever ask anybody, do you trust the government? I'm pretty sure a majority of people are going to say no. All right, because they have classified information for a reason. It's openly telling you that they're lying to you or not telling you things. It's classified. We can't tell people that. Okay, well, if you know that they're hiding things from you, then that right there tells you what would keep them from hiding other things. If you see NASA putting out things that don't make sense, there's anomalies, the moon landing, and then Joe Rogan will go, oh, they've been lying about the moon, but that's because that the footage got erased and we had to prove we did it, so we faked it after we got back. Like that alone doesn't make any sense. All right, we have NASA now telling us we can't leave low Earth orbit. We have to build something to get past the radiation belts. Yet the moon is outside of the radiation belts, and we've been there 6 times. All right, so I see lies, I see deception, and this is easy for people to see at the beginning. You don't have to be, a hardcore discerner to see that some things don't add up. You just have to be willing to admit that they don't and admit that you've been lied to. That's the first step. And then you move on. All right, if you can admit that you're being lied to and that there's deception at play, then you can say, okay, how deep does it go? And that's where we are now. All right, because it's so deep now that we don't even know who to fucking trust anymore in the truth movement. And it's pretty pathetic. It's very pathetic. It's sad. I don't know if people are in it for money or just fame or entertainment. Who the hell knows what's going on? Just give me a second here to look at chat, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, Joe Rogan's totally a government show. Not even gonna try to fucking explain that. He's totally. You saw him switch. Did the moon landing? Oh yeah, they didn't go to the moon, and then like boop, just like that. Oh yeah, they totally went to the moon. Like that's on tape, dude. This dude is exposed. That's the essence of exposing somebody. He exposed himself, all right? And if people can't see that, then, no one has discernment skills anymore if they can't fucking see that. That's the most obvious one. Yeah, he's totally a fucking shill. Yeah, no, that's a tipping point is right. That alone was proof to me saying, okay, somebody's fucking trying to hide something here. Here's a prominent person. I used to love Joe Rogan. All right, I used to love Joe Rogan. I used to love Fear Factor. I was out there. I was watching his stuff. And I used to love the Joe Rogan podcast back when I was still in the Matrix. I was asleep. I didn't know better. I thought he was coming out with great spiritual conversation and talking about metaphysical, different dimensions, aliens. He was all for it. And now I see him trying to fucking cover up something. He's not entertaining it. He's not trying to test it or prove it. He's covering it up. This is a guy that's supposed to be open-minded about things. And here he is going, no, not wrong. No, they say it's this. They say it's that. When previously he was open-minded about them lying about the moon. But all of a sudden, he flips. And it's just like, it's the most obvious fucking switch I've ever seen. Christ rules creation. Yeah, we discussed the FEA IPS video. I'm sure a lot of people have seen it. Jake has a lot of followers. Not followers, I should call subscribers. We don't want to classify people as followers because we're no better than the sheep that follow the mainstream figureheads, in music and entertainment. So let's try to use some words that are better for us, the subscribers. I subscribe to certain things. I don't subscribe to others. It doesn't make me a follower. I do want to be a follower, though, when I see activism and people are going out and doing great things, helping people, plant seeds and wake up. That's something I'd like to follow. But, all this shit with this, who's doing what, I can't fucking keep track. Yeah, Neil deGrasse is a piece of shit, and we all know it. Yeah, no, Paulie, MMA sniper, you're right, dude. He not only misrepresented what B.O.B. had to say, but B.O.B. himself is also in on this deception. You see, they're making prominent entertainment people talk about this, but they're not scientists in the eyes of the mainstream. Now, we all know that Neil deGrasse Tyson and Bill Nye, we know they're not scientists. We know that they're celebrities, they're actors, they're promoters. We know that because we look at fucking Bill Nye's degree and it's only mechanical engineering. So, that right there tells me that Disney made him a fucking scientist. Right? He was on television shows as an actor in comedy skits way before he was ever a scientist. So that's been exposed. There's proof of that, and take it as you will, but that tells me that, okay, they've hired people, not only in the flat earth community now, but in mainstream, to propagate the lies. And that's your Neil deGrasse Tyson and your Bill Nye and all those fucking people. And not only misrepresenting a rapper, but look at the people coming out talking about flat earth. B.O.B., Shaq, Tila Tequila. Like, those three people alone. Who's ever going to take seriously a fucking basketball player who has an IQ of like 20? Not to, if you like Shaq, I'm sorry, but, I've disconnected from all mainstream things. I can't fucking watch them anymore. I see that there's people working against me. I see that the celebrities do not have our best interests in mind. They sold out for personal gain, and then they propagate the lies. All right, we see that. We know that that's what they're into. They're not out there to help us. All right, so they're against us. You got B.O.B. He's in the club. He's made music. He's, Illuminati'd up. He says he's not. But then you have him coming on and talking about shit. And then you have Tila Tequila, who's an ex-porn star. Wow, 3 great people right there who are representing the truth movement. Awesome. Yeah, because people are going to look at that and not think that's a joke, right? Oh, yeah, Tila Tequila thinks the earth is flat. And that's now associated with everybody. It's like Eric Dubé fucking doing the Hitler support thing. It's like, that has absolutely nothing to do with fucking flat earth. Why did you bring in Hitler support and saying Hitler's a good guy with a flat earth topic? That has, I don't care who's behind it, whether they be Jews, Christians, Jesuits, doesn't matter. You do not associate those two things together. They have absolutely nothing to do with one another. The globe earth and the flat earth can be proved with science. If we agree that history is a lie and that they've been lying to us about history and augmenting it and changing it to fit their needs or hiding things from us, then we can't look at Hitler and say, hey, this guy was good or he was bad. We don't know. We've been told lies. So for someone to come out and say, I have proof of this and scientific evidence of that, and the earth, it's not a globe, it's flat, and then wrap in some type of Hitler support with that, that's a red flag, dude. That's a real big red flag. That should not have anything to do with it. Because now if I show people Dubé's work and they're going through and they're going, wow, this is great. Wow, this is great. And then they stumble across fucking Hitler support fucking YouTube video, then it's like, what is this? What does this have to do with flat earth? Oh, the Jews are behind it. Oh, great. Well, that has nothing to do with observable, provable, testable, repeatable science. That's just speculation. So I'm saying it right now, dude. Shame on you, Eric Dubé. What are you doing? Stop that. Now, some people might like Dubé. I love Dubé. I loved his work. He puts out great content. What the fuck are we doing about this Hitler shit? Get that out of there. Sorry, I was away from chat for a second there. Tila Tequila, mind control sex slave. Oh, I believe it. I believe it because I can't prove it. It's a belief. We say we believe things. We say we can't believe things because we can't prove them. That's fine. I believe because I can't prove that she is. I've seen the monarch programming symbolism, Britney Spears, Katy Perry. They've got the patterns and the symbols out there that lead them to some type of mind control thing. I have no proof of that, but it's possible. Clones, I think the clones thing is a little far-fetched. It's kind of like the same thing like no trees on flat earth. What does that have to do with the flat earth? Like Dell will always say, we have to first measure and prove that we're not on a ball before we start speculating what other things are. I am from Connecticut. Yeah, that's where I live. I am from Connecticut. I actually live. It's hilarious. I recently moved to this new location that I'm in. I live like I live like a minute down the road from a Masonic lodge, and I knew it was there when I got this pad, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna keep my eye on this place, and I drive by it every day, and I look over. There was one in my last town that I lived in, and frosted glass, very suspicious little building. I always knew they were there. I thought they were just another like Eagles or Elks club or place where people go and drink. But these lodges, the more I look into them, they're very suspicious. And I just lived right down the road from one now. I should say I do live. So I might even go there for a barbecue just to see what the hell's going on and gauge and feel the room. But don't hold me to that. I'm just very interested in seeing what these lodges are about. Because I know that, the Masons, they like to deceive their own kind. Only if you're high up, you're obviously in on the secrets. And even then, we don't know what degree that is or if it's even true. But I've been told and I've read and I've learned over time that they like to deceive their own kind. So it's possible that people that belong to these groups aren't even aware of what's going on. Then again, it could be a harmless club. I don't know. I look at pattern recognition and I let that be the judge. Unless I have hard evidence, I can't speculate. Neil and Katie. What vid are you talking about? Christ rules? Well, Illuminati, I suppose we all monitor stuff. Like, I consider myself monitoring flat earth content because I want to monitor. I want to see everything that comes out. I want to take it all in. And I want to, be the judge of what I think of this stuff on my own. Yep, I believe that as well. Tip of the break. The secret societies, even if they're not in a fucking organized group, people in power do evil things. It's tempting. It's was it psychopathic? It's anyone that's given the opportunity to have power over somebody else will abuse that power. It's been proven in tests in colleges and universities. There was an exam or some type of test that they did where they would electroshock somebody on the other side of like a frosted glass. You couldn't see who they are, but somebody was told, they were given an order, you got to push this button here and do this, and they were unaware of what was happening, but they would push this button, and every time they did, I think they would get like $1 or something. So they would do it more often. And little did they know the person on the other side was, getting a low voltage electroshock. And I don't know exactly how the experiment ended, but over time, the people were aware that they were somebody else was on the other side, and that didn't stop them from doing this. I could be misconstruing that experiment. I kind of want to look it up, but there's proof out there, and we see it in our everyday life that people are evil, and there are good people, but if there's money involved, which is the whole fucking control system behind the Matrix, then they're evil. People don't need money. The people that print the money, they don't need money. Just like I always say about NASA and the government, like they don't need our money. They could just fund it themselves because it's in their best interest as well to explore space. Why do they need us to pay for it? Well, I'll tell you why. It's because we're buying into it. We have to buy into the scam and the con to believe it. It's buyer's remorse. So if you pay your own money and you give your taxes and you say, oh yeah, my taxes went towards that, blah, 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 it affirms the lie as truth in your head because you've bought into it. You literally bought into the lie. Why don't they just print billions of dollars and give it to NASA, on behalf of the government? That would be in everyone's best interest, but they don't want to do that. Yeah, No, that's right. Let me you put the link there. I'm gonna post that in here real quick, and we'll take a quick little gander at that video again because I just want to point out a couple things. That's not the video. Oh, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. 1 second here. Just gonna move
It's
this
alright,
over
buddy.
here.
Matt's gonna see this, I'm sure. Why don't you tell Matt why you used his name?
Oh shit! Is
for
this?
the
I
news?
didn't see this yet.
It's a way to drive the name into the mainstream media narrative, and anybody
Look at this guy
searching
just
it in
sitting
any
there with his.
language,
He's wearing the
anybody
same
looking
fucking
at the
shirt.
subject of research flat Earth, and that name is going to find him. I'm invisible. I don't exist. I don't have a brand name, and I want to draw people to the photo we're painting, crazy notion, and to ideas that have nothing to do with anything other than Earth being flat and the images all being faked. So it's not going to go to any area of contention. It's not going to go to a Bible or biblical view. It's not going to go to a National Socialist view. It's going to go to the images are fake. NASA's faking us out with images. The media's lying. And hijacking CBS News, to me, is like getting free advertisement and directing the narrative away from their controlled release agents like Shaq, like Jimmy Curvert, and they brought out, what's his name? The other one they brought out, Chappelle. They bring out people, I think, in order to attack flat Earth. So we bring it up in our terms, and we direct the media where we want it to. So I look at it as, like I said, directing the narrative towards a more effective area, which is neutral. Research flat Earth, and then the name, of course, like I said, is to drive it specifically towards videos that will have impact on the first time. The first time somebody looks at flat Earth and they see that, I think they'll be better off than if they just go random and find, oh, Shaq said the Earth is flat, here's why he's dumb. So that's the objective. That's the reason why. And I don't have any good solid flat Earth content according to my name. My name's amorphous. So it's just a tool. No one's gonna find me, like I said. I don't really see myself as having I don't really exist. If you search for me, you're not gonna find me. And so I was just looking at making I guess you'd say, a concise statement, a concise message that's unambiguous, and like I said, directs people to something a little more effective, away from all the controlled opposition.
Okay, so yeah, we're here we go. We have a guy. I'm just gonna analyze this. This is my first time seeing this video. Thank you for providing the content there. I see a person here explaining why they did something after they did it. So I understand it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. I also see now that this is Research Flat Earth, the actual group website, I guess. There's the billboard, and this is the broadcast.
People thinking.
We'll watch that in a second because I got a bone to pick with this broadcast too. But so what I hear now is FEA's in the background filming this, and this guy looks a little weird. I don't know why he looks like he's apologizing for something in this, but to use a name like that and get people away from the infighting or the controlled opposition, I get it. I understand that, but why are we wearing Illuminati symbols? And it's very suspicious to me. Now I don't know what Math has to say about this, and I'm not really sure if he is going to say anything about this, but I do see that FEA is on board with this. This guy lives in California. I don't know why he's associating that with Philadelphia somehow, but you're right. No one saw this vid yet. It's only got 47 views, and it's already got 3 downs. So I'm like, whoever did see this is on an IPS rage. They're trying to expose this guy. But now if you go to IPS's page, I've even listened in on some fucking shit sometimes that it says he's like, oh, well, if it's not flat, then it could be this. He's starting to theorize and speculate outside of that. And, I just think that he could be more useful in helping other people tell people about what's going on, which is basically how to expose the lie to people in our everyday life. No telling who put that vid out. There are many involved, powerful people. Yeah, no, there's I like I said, the whole reason that I started this whole stream right now is to question my assumptions of flat earth asshole. I loved his stuff, but now I see him shacking up with somebody who's in it just for marketing purposes, I guess, because he even admitted that he doesn't put out any content. So, you know, if you put the money up for a billboard, dude, kudos at the same time, but people, the message is kind of wrong. And that's exactly why I'll go here next. The message is research flat earth. Okay? So imagine like a sleeping mind. Imagine somebody that's not aware of deception, controlled opposition, things out there that are trying to deceive you and keep you locked in a box. I mean, a majority of these people that research flat earth are going to go to Google and they're going to type in flat earth. Great. That is going to get them to about 1 or 2 pages worth of Google of all mainstream science articles and websites saying, oh, we all know the Earth's a globe, but there's some people out there that think it's flat. And then they will misrepresent our points. They'll stick to their fucking shadow shit. And, oh, the eclipse, the moon, the shadow on the moon of the Earth is round. And, you know, all these things that they pull out of their bag of tricks that we can easily explain in a different way. And you don't see mainstream science going, you're right. We can measure shadows like that if the sun is close and local and it's on a flat plane. You know, we don't see them going, that's interesting. Let's look into that. No, instead, we see them going, nope, everyone knows it's a globe. Let's move on and make fun of it. And that's exactly what I see here. Let's just, for a real quick second, watch this. I don't know if you've seen it already. This is the newscast that, this is the fucking video that the billboard stirred up, and these people are reporting on it. Now, automatically, here we go. We have 2 fucking talking heads getting ready to tell you what to think.
About the Earth. And asking the question, could the Earth be flat? Greg Argos is here with more on the movement that is taking on centuries of scientific research, Greg.
There you go. They called it a movement, and it's taking on centuries of scientific research. Centuries of scientific research. So you and I aren't scientists. We can't go out there and do experiments. We have to rely on the centuries of scientific evidence put out by the government. Okay. But you see, we're all scientists. We're all natural scientists. We can go out there. We can track the sun. We can measure shadows. We can measure curvature. There is none. You know, we can go out there and see that water is always level. We pour water into a glass. It's level. We pour water into a pot. It's level and flat. We always see water take the shape of a container. We never, ever see water curve. We never see water stick to an object, and a spinning object for that matter. I don't know, you spin a wet tennis ball, in my opinion, the water flies off at the spin axis. You know, the equator of the spin, the water flies off. So here we are on a spinning ball with all this water, and we're spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, but no, you know, it just sticks and it doesn't fly off, or it doesn't, you know, coagulate at the equator because water would shift at the rotational area of the equator. No, it doesn't do all that because of centuries of scientific research. So why would science ever say, yeah, we might be lying, let's look into this? They're not. And instead, they're going to get the media to talk about this. So here, just take a look at this video. It's actually pretty comical. All right, and as we go through, I'm going to exactly explain to you guys what I don't like about this.
Yes, guys, and Yuki, this was just unveiled just yesterday, in fact. This billboard, a digital billboard unveiled yesterday, and it's calling into question a theory most of us have accepted, that the Earth, of course, is round.
Okay, most of us have accepted, of course, that the Earth is, of course, round. So they're reaffirming the fact that, oh, well, we all know it's round, but there's some people out there that don't. So this whole segment is a bad fucking thing, all right? They're talking about it in a negative way, saying, hey, you know, everyone out there watching Channel 3 right now, we all know it's a globe, but, you know, there's some people that think it's flat. So I'm like, what's going on here? Why are they not looking at this objectively? I thought the news was supposed to report unbiasedly. Well, no, of course they're going to back up mainstream science.
But those behind this billboard say, well, we've all been tricked.
Yeah, we all have been tricked. We know we've been tricked.
Drivers heading eastbound on the Schuylkill already battle some serious traffic. But now there's another distraction slowing them down, and it's just 100 feet above their head.
No, I'm not going to lie. It's awesome. But the message is wrong. All right? Research flat earth. Like I said, they're going to go to Google, type in flat earth, and they're going to read the mainstream. They're not going to go to YouTube and look at individual people's work. They're not going to go to forums and websites and read threads and discern who's having the best points and who's, just backing up mainstream science that we can't test or prove or observe. Oh, don't these people go to school? Haven't they looked at science? Go back and learn science. That's all they can ever say. But there's proof out there proving that there's no curvature. So instead of research flat Earth, maybe it should have said YouTube flat Earth. Because I'm pretty sure when you go to YouTube and you type in flat Earth, I don't know, let's just real quick. I always like to see what comes up first. All right, so the first thing I see is ODD reality. Now, this person has also come in the question if I can trust. I'm not sure if I can. I'm not sure if I can't. I've liked the things ODD puts out. He's got a good content delivery method. He's got some good production value. His voice is good on the mic. He makes pretty cool music. This dude's doing a lot of work, and I like his stuff. And he's got this awesome live streaming research flat Earth thing. So, I'm skeptical of all people, but ODD in my eyes is putting out good stuff. I've shown people his videos. I don't see any Hitler love. I don't see any, misrepresentation and linking things to the movement. I see him sticking to that. But I did see him, I think, on Patricia Steer's website, or her show, or whatever the fuck they call it. And I've also seen him on, what is it? The fucking AM TV or whatever, like the Trump supporter guy. So we're all claiming to be awake, but some people are still supporting politics and Trump and all that. So if I see him associating with someone that doesn't know politics as a sham, that kind of makes me wonder, why is this guy on that show? All right, but this is it. Even watching some of these videos here would be great. Let's see what comes up first.
People are waking up to the massive deception every day.
Now, see, I like this segment that ODD did. It's the 21 questions or whatever about flat Earth. That's great. And he asks a question that everyone pretty much asks, and then he answers it in a great way. That's great. So if they went in the YouTube flat Earth, I think they'd have a good hit on that. All right? And then you get here, Joe Rogan being a fucking bullshit asshole.
Extraordinary claims require
And then here, you get your fucking, this is good. This is all good stuff. You have Vsauce here. I'm sure this is a great video. I haven't watched it. I've seen all that work and content before, though, on other places, so I know that it's pretty good. Here's Dell. You can't fuck with this. This is a good lineup here. RussianVids. I support RussianVids. The dude is on point with all the shit that he says, whether he's a shill or not, whatever you guys think. I like him. All right? And I listen to his stuff. He's popular. He's got a lot of hits, and he's always right. Sorry, Christ rules. I'll be over there in a second. Let me just... I just want to go down this list. All right, so right off the bat, I'm seeing awesome stuff. ODD, I don't know what Before It's Too Late is, but that could be some good content. RussianVids, fine with that. Beyond the Imaginary Curve, Dell, this is awesome. Now, unfortunately, if it's the episode where he has the huge blowout with Antonio, I'm pretty sure that's not going to be good. No one's going to, they're going to see two people fighting in rage, and then... last but not least, there's going to be a giant fucking turnoff. Someone's going to go, oh, I don't like this. What the hell's going on? Flat Earth is a truth. ODD, fine with that. Mr. Thrive and Survive, I've seen some of his stuff. Richie from Boston, he jumped on board with Flat Earth. He's on it now. I'm not going to say I support all these people, but I've seen their stuff, and this whole lineup here would be a good amount of content for people to watch. Now, this is just this week. This could change week to week. At first, it was all Dubé stuff. I don't see any debunking videos coming up, so, YouTubing Flat Earth would be great. If I go to Google and I type in Flat Earth, all right, now look, I get Wikipedia twice, all right? Modern Flat Earth Societies. They're going to talk about the control opposition. I see Flat Earth Wikipedia, and it probably says that it was an old belief that has been debunked and blah, blah, blah. I see questions from wiki.tfes. I don't even know what the hell that is. The Flat Earth Wiki. Great. That could be controlled opposition for all I know. Here's a Twitter search for Flat Earth. I'm sure Twitter's not bringing anything good to the table. Are Flat Earthers being serious? There's some mockery. Flat Earth Society called out. Okay. Controlled opposition. Let's get people to look there. That'd be great. Vatican relating people who have climate change denial or like Flat Earthers. Are we being serious? Here's a whole fucking page here of Huffington Post, The Atlantic. It's all pop science. It's all fucking controlled. Now, how far on this list do we have to go until we start seeing some alternative, open source shit? I don't know. Let's see. Rapper B.O.B. thinks the Earth is flat. He's got photos to prove it. Oh, great. That's fucking an empty gesture. A hot new conspiracy theory is tearing up the flat Earth movement. I bet that's about fucking trees. It's like, here we have a bunch of fucking bullshit. So right away, I think YouTube would have been the best way to go about this. YouTube Flat Earth. Because we're putting out content. Not me personally, but people. I may start. I think I will start. Because I'm just getting sick of watching all this bullshit, nasty stuff that people are putting out and trying to get in arguments and fights. And it's about time we stop that.
No. That's pretty ridiculous. They're missing a lot.
Sandwiched between two insurance ads is this bold 3-word billboard.
All right, so yeah, before we go on, you had 3-4 people there that are like, oh my god, this is crazy. Oh no, like, are they paid? Were they just there? We don't know.
They're missing
above their heads.
No, right? Like, this guy's laughing. Can you believe this? And they're like, oh yeah, this is crazy.
That's pretty ridiculous. They're missing a lot.
Sandwiched between two insurance ads is this bold 3-word billboard. Research Flat Earth. I know about these folks.
I can't believe this is for real.
I know about these folks. I can't believe this is for real. Well, these folks are other human beings like this guy. All right? We're just like this guy. We're humans. All right? And we have a question that we'd like looked at and addressed. But no, I know about these people. Like, well, what are we now? A cult? What are we, like the mafia, the KKK? Like, we're just grouped now as crazy people because we have evidence of the Earth not being a globe? Like, what's going on?
I have some very hard, concrete evidence that they've convinced themselves that the Earth is flat.
We believe this is something that needs to be talked about.
Math.
Okay. Let's go into this now because this is a little crazy. We have Matt Boyland, I believe they're going to say. Here he is. Same room. FEA was sitting over here. All right. This guy's on camera talking with his little greasy hair.
We believe this is something that needs to be talked about.
Math Powerland purchased the ad.
$900 a week.
Math Powerland. All right. That's not Matt Boyland. All right. They showed Matt Boyland. They used Math Powerland. They used his name. This is not Math Powerland. All right. There's really something going on here that is smelling like rotten fish.
For that one.
He's a member of the Infinite Plane Society whose members believe the Earth is flat.
Now, he's a member of the Infinite Plane Society. Why are we grouping him as a member of that? Why can't we say he's a group of people that believe the Earth is flat? Why do we have to have a label, the Infinite Plane Society, the Flat Earth Society? Why are we all in societies? All right, we're humans. We're all just humans.
He says NASA's pictures and spacewalks showing a curved Earth are all made up.
We believe it's all faked. All of it's in front of CGI, augmented virtual reality. The spacewalks are for the most part done in desalinated spacewalks are for
now, look at this again. Math Powerland, Flat Earther. All right, if someone went on TV and used my name to say, hey, I think that, Barney the dinosaur is real and that he lives in Australia, and they said my name, I think I'd get a little upset if somebody used my name. I know there's other people out there that could have the same name as me. But, Math Powerland, is this going to generate some buzz? If I go to YouTube and type in Math Powerland, am I going to see this dude or am I going to see Math Powerland? Probably going to see Math Powerland.
Most part done in desalinated water tanks.
They're stuck in like 1492.
Actually, more like 330 BC.
The Greek mathematicians figured out that the Earth is round simply by looking at the angle of shadows in different places on the surface of the planet.
There, that's their best argument, shadows. Oh, one shadow here is longer and one here is not, so that means that this one's further away over a curve, and therefore it's a globe. They don't even entertain the idea that if the sun was localized close and small, that if it was over one of them and not over another, that the shadows would be the same from the two pillars, all right? This is something that they do not address. I don't see anybody out there saying, well, Vsauce said it. He had a video that said, oh yeah, no, it's possible that it could happen at Flat Earth. He was the one that I didn't mind too much delivering both sides of the story. Because he was kind of like, well, it could be like this or it could be like that. Here we have people now saying, oh, no, we know it because of shadows.
Eric Pitts, the Franklin Institute's chief astronomer, says it's fine to have...
That's it. He's the chief astronomer, guys. So that's it. Nail in the coffin. This guy is it. He knows everything.
Different opinions. But when there is concrete evidence to the contrary, you have to accept reality.
We've been able to observe lunar eclipses from Earth. The only way you can make a curved shadow is if you have a curved...
There we go. Another, the shadow is curved, so it's got to be curved. We don't know what's going on up there. We can't prove it, but we're believing that that's what these people tell us. There could be an invisible whatever up there making a curved whatever on anything. Who the hell knows? What we're saying is that this curvature here does not exist, nor can it. It's not possible for water to do that. Oh, you need a giant planet. Okay, well, we're believing in things again that we can't prove. So, you know, what's going on?
Object that blocks the light.
And for at least the next week, this ad will be blocking drivers' attention.
I guess it's not the worst thing to spend your money on, but I guess there's more important things than whether or not the Earth is flat.
No, you see, people always say, oh, there's more important things than that. What does it matter? What difference does it make? You know how many times I hear what difference does it make about the flat Earth? If people really understood, if they believed overnight and they realized that they're being lied to about that, I'm pretty sure everybody would get fucking pissed. Say, hey, you know, the news comes out and goes, oh, just to let you guys know, the Earth is actually flat and we've been lying to you. I'm pretty sure everyone would go, what the fuck? Like, it would be a topic for months. Kids would be talking about it. Everybody would be like, oh, what? Why were they lying? Everyone would be wondering why they were lying. All right, but because nobody fucking addresses it as a scientific topic, because that would be damage control, what we have here is people just making fun of it.
Definitely need to get a new hobby. I mean, I could use that money.
Now, Philadelphia is the first city this billboard was introduced. Math Powerland says he chose our city simply because of economics. As you heard, the cost for a week was under $1,000. Now, he says he plans to unveil other ads in Phoenix and Denver in the coming weeks, and he's actually getting a lot of hits on his website.
$900 a week. What's he do?
Math Powerland is getting a lot of hits on his website. That's not Math Powerland. That is not Math Powerland. So it's not really Math Powerland's website that's getting hits. Also, I would recommend that we change it from Research Flat Earth to YouTube Flat Earth. And there needs to be like a billboard next to this billboard that says, hey, we can't trust mainstream. They're lying to you. Don't believe the first thing you read. Like, we need a billboard to explain deception to people on like a first grade level before they research Flat Earth. Like, this is great, but it's also could possibly be a giant waste of money. You know, it's like, oh, somebody got a billboard. You know how many times I see a billboard that says Jesus saves? I mean, like, you know, it's equivalent to that. All right, let me look back at the chat here for a second, guys. Hold on. What do we got here? Yes, Math Powerland is a known flat earther. I agree that it could bring good publicity his way. Math Boylan, I don't know where that came from. I don't know. I don't know why Boylan was even introduced. It's obvious they said Powerland, and that's not Powerland. So I'm confused about why this other name's in there, and also why they even used Math's name. It's kind of strange. Yeah, Christ rules. I'm just saying that it's a little weird that the same time this billboard goes up, FEA drives across the plain and meets, you know, IPS at the exact same timing, you know, 2 days after or whatever it was put up. There's a lot of coincidences here that are coming together, whether it was planned in advance and it's harmless or if there's some type of nefarious side to it. I don't know. They obviously knew before they released this. Yeah, this seems planned. The media, you know, they had a little story together. I know they put stories together quickly, but it's possible that they could have been on this together somehow. And once again, why would the media introduce somebody into the narrative like that? And they didn't really reveal much. It's just him saying, oh, they're lying to us about this and that. Like, I didn't hear him say, we measure curvature. There's no curvature. People go out there, measure curvature. All right, here's the formula. This is where you can find it. Enter curvature formula and do distances. Look, you can see things. I don't see them saying that. I just see more speculation. They're lying. It's CGI. Well, we know that, but people watching this for the first time are going to go, oh, there's the UFO crazy people again. You know, oh, I have videos of UFOs. Okay. You know, and they classify it as that and they move on. Yeah, to believe it just happened randomly is, you know, I'm not a coincidence theorist. I'm a conspiracy theorist for a reason. That's just the sky with a convex horizon, not Earth. Yeah, I think that all this footage, I don't know how they blacken out areas, but I think it's just the flat Earth that they're putting into a fucking fisheye lens and hiding out other areas of it so it looks like space. You never see any stars. You got to wonder what the fuck's going on. Yep, it is psychological. There's no way to escape it. We have to unite to stop it. Buy Flat Earth and Globe books together on Amazon. Recently bought together. That's hilarious. That's actually a good... What? Well, I don't know about that. I don't know if the recently bought together would trigger like that, if the algorithm does that. The amazing thing is, people joke about Flat Earth being, it's just a movement to sell P900 Nikon cameras, which is true because I've never seen a camera sell so fast in a store before. Every time I go to look for one, we don't have it. I go online, it's like highly rated by 1 million people. I'm thinking of getting a camera down the line. I really don't have any need for it right now, but if I'm gonna start putting out content, I live right on the water, so I can go out there and just take some cool videos across the sound. The powers that be know there is not enough proof and will not be enough for Flat Earth to awaken the whole Earth. I have to beg to differ with that. I do believe there's enough proof, and it can be explained. It can all be explained simply if the people that are listening are going to acknowledge your information and take it in genuinely and say, yeah, well, that could be possible. It's just like saying to someone, why is the sun and the moon, why are they the same size? Why are they exactly the same size? Oh, well, one's huge, but it's just really far away, and the other one's small and it's closer, so they look the same. Okay, now, to me, that sounds like an excuse, all right? Whether it's true or not, they're the same size in the sky, all right? And that alone tells you that, okay, if they are the same size in the sky, this is how they could operate. Well, the proof that I see is the lack of proof from NASA. Think about the marvel that is the ISS that floats around in outer space, okay? Do we have any videos of that thing being put together? It couldn't have taken a week. You would think there's a concerted effort to build a tin can like that. The size of it's the size of a football field. How did they get the parts up there? Who worked on it to drill it together? Were they in those suits when they did it? Did they put the first piece in motion and then it was orbiting and then eventually they sent up more and they caught up to that piece and they drilled something together and they built it slowly? How did they pressurize it? Did they bring up, oxygen and pump it in there? Like, how does it not melt or freeze every day as it goes around in crazy temperatures that they tell us? How does it not, spring a leak? How is it not grounded? It could be an electronically charged. If you're in there doing stuff, you need to be grounded to something. It's floating. Where are the videos of them building the ISS? Where's the video footage? Where's even the photography? We had cameras to go to the moon, but when we built the ISS, we didn't feel like taking a single picture or video. I told my uncle that today. I met him. I said, listen, if you believe the ISS is up there, tell me, why is there no proof or video footage of them putting that thing together? And I Google, ISS creation. What do I get? An animation. Oh, what big deal. I see animations all the time from NASA. So that's not proof saying that they built it for me. And the fact that they don't have proof is kind of like saying, well, hey, look at this. There's no proof here to prove that this exists, so why do we believe it? Yeah, my camera does have a fisheye lens. This is my GoPro. So I was actually out on the water today, and I took a video with it, straight, showing the horizon, and then I tilted it up and I tilted it down, and you see the convex, approach to the horizon. So no matter how high you are, there's going to be a bend in the lens, and I use it as a webcam because I don't have a webcam, so I figured out it has Wi-Fi on it, and it transmits directly to my computer. And it might be a little grainy because it's kind of like a preview screen. Normally it's 1080p, but this works for now. I'm not really into these live streams too much. Yeah, people are blind following stuff, but they follow the mainstream. If the news here says, "Oh yeah, this is a joke," don't listen to this, then people are going to fall for it. And people, if you want my opinion on it, it's too far gone. We're never going to be able to wake people up. But I will not sit by and just let it happen without trying. All right, because if I was aware enough to see things like this then other people can too. I wasn't a good student. I never really fell for the fucking education system. I was a terrible student, actually. I never did my homework. I got D's on tests. I just got by enough to get out of the fucking system. And I didn't know any of this back then. I was just saying, fuck this. I hate this. This is terrible. I hate school. And I slid by, and I never fell for it. And now I think that's attributed to why I believe that I've came across this knowledge, and I'm so open to it and accepting of it, because I didn't get indoctrinated like all the other kids that strived hard and got good grades and fell for the bullshit. I just think I escaped by being a dumbass in school book text speech. I'm not really a book smart guy. I'm more street smart, and that could be why I look at things differently and I think critically now, because I haven't been indoctrinated. But everyone's different. There's people out there that have egos. They claim they went to school for so long, they studied this, they studied that. You'll never get through to them because their ego is going to be too big. My uncle's 55 years old. He's studied medicine. He studied science, physics. He's been to university for higher education. You're not going to get through to him. I tried to give him some seeds to plant, and he accepted the information, but the conspiracy was just too large for him to comprehend. He couldn't believe that something like this could be afoot, and that's the beauty of this conspiracy. It's so large. It's so large that you just can't accept it to be something that's true. Everyone's like, oh yeah, well, there's a conspiracy here, and yeah, chemtrails, fluoride, vaccines, but not the globe. Yes, thank God for not getting an education. We need proof for the masses with enough live witnesses. No video or photo is proof of anything anymore. That's right. Just like them saying, here's a picture of Earth. This is why it's a sphere. We see water curve in this photo. We also can't say, well, here's the edge of the Earth. Here's the ice wall, because we can't prove it. And I don't even think that stuff might even exist. We don't know. We can't stick to those theories and say they're true. We have to just say, hey, look, here's the curvature formula. I can see a skyline this far away when I shouldn't be able to see it. I can see not only all of the buildings, but I should only be able to see the top of this building because it's so many feet high. And that's math, right? They tell us it's a certain radius. They tell us it's a certain circumference. There's mathematicians out there that can take a spherical object and calculate curvature, right? That's a proof. And when we apply it to reality, it does not make sense. So then people go, oh, well, maybe the numbers aren't right. Maybe they got the numbers wrong. Okay, well, this is a scientific organization coming out with satellites and technology, they claim, that gets us information that we rely on. And we're giving them all this money. So why would the number be wrong? Why would 25,000 miles be incorrect? Oh, it's actually this much. And then they change it? Well, why are we believing that if it's not right in the first place? Then that's proof right there that we can't believe them anymore about anything because it's not right. So when we do the formula and we see that there's no curvature, then that tells me that, hey, something's not working here. Something's not right because this doesn't add up. I can see New York City skyline from 30 miles away. I can see all the buildings. I can see the tallest residential building that's there at 246 Park Avenue. I can see it. And I only should be able to see half of that building, but I can see all of the buildings underneath it. There should be 600 feet of obscured curvature blockage there, but I can see the buildings below the point that I should only be able to see. So what's going on with these numbers? Oh, well, the Earth is huge. You can't see the curvature from the ground. Okay, but we can see boats go over the horizon. Well, yeah, but, I see curvature in an airplane. All right, so we see boats go over the horizon, and you see curvature in an airplane? I've never seen curvature in an airplane, okay? And I've never seen a boat go over a horizon other than perspective. But these are proofs. These are proofs that if you explain to people it's perspective and, there's no curvature and we can calculate it, then it's math. People stick to math and they go, okay, yeah, that's weird. But if they really look at it and they go, wait a minute, you're right, that's a proof. They have to acknowledge it as a proof. Otherwise, it's just speculation to them. But it is a proof. They just can't wrap their head around it. Yeah, live witnesses. I'd like to see more periscoping, live stuff. Videos are fine. I'm okay with that. Who knows what live is anymore, though, because I look at the ISS and I see it says, live stream. And I look at it, and it was a stream I watched 3 weeks ago. So it's not live. It's the same dude with the same area doing the same thing with the camera. And even the same cloud patterns, I'm looking at them like, I remember seeing that last time. So these live feeds are not even live, but people watch them and they go, well, that's Earth right now. They trick you without even tricking you. Yeah, no, school, yeah, sneaking suspicion of school. They get you to sit there, they take you as a child, and you're energetic, you're creative, you're imaginative, you explore, right? You're hyperactive. You're the essence of energy at a young age. You don't know anything. You're the beautiful energy of Earth, or this world that we're in, and when they take you and they put you in school, they basically break that inquisitive spirit you have, and they teach you to conform, and they teach you to regurgitate information, and they get you ready for society because you're a slave. All right, so they get you there and they tell you everything. Okay, you got to do this, you got to write this down, repeat it, repeat, take this test. Did you learn this? Okay, if you didn't, do it again. Blah, blah, blah. It's structured. You got to sit there, the bell rings, you go to your next class, you get in there, you have your pencils, buy these books. It's getting you ready for the fucking economy of the Matrix. And they have the nerve to tell young children and kids that they have hyperactive disorder or ADHD, and they put them on mind control drugs. Like, no, there's nothing wrong with these kids. This is how they're supposed to be. We're supposed to be like that our entire lives. We're not supposed to be put into a system that makes us a fucking conformist robot. And that's what school is. Oh yeah, well, you learn some stuff in school, but it's not enough to break free of the system. It's just enough to survive. It's enough to work the machines and do the paperwork and contribute to society as a human resource. You're a resource. We're all resources. They're farming us. The people that print the money don't need the money, right? And you better believe they're not eating GMO crap. They probably taste food that tastes 3 times better than what we're tasting. We probably don't even know what food tastes like because we've been fucking engineered to accept what we have as real. All right? So when you look at school and you go, yeah, it's a bunch of hogwash, it is. I went to college. It was a fucking racket. I'm in 50 grand worth of debt after I get out, trying to pay it back. So they start you off in debt immediately. So, did I go to get a piece of paper to get a job because I have debt now? Like, I probably could have gotten the same job or an equal job, not going to college and not having 50 grand worth of debt over my head. Like, what's going on? These mofos with an education need to unlearn what they've learned. Yeah, I think Yoda said that in Star Wars. Before you learn, you must unlearn what you've learned, which is true. And it's the ego. When you go to school for that long and you put all that time in, you don't want to admit to yourself that you wasted all that time learning crap. And, I went to school. I put the time in. I knew I was learning crap. I didn't know it on this level, but I knew that this would be like, I'm never going to use this. How many times in school did you go, I'm never going to use this? Teacher, when are we ever going to use this in real life? And they go, oh, well, you got to learn it. Yeah, you got to learn it because they have to break you of your fucking natural, energetic and inquisitive spirit. So they put you on these medications because they say kids are too hyperactive. They can't concentrate. They're not supposed to concentrate. They're not supposed to sit in a school and do all that. It's supposed to be a fun learning environment. You're supposed to go out and do things and learn creatively instead of sitting at a fucking desk in a room, being taught by, an authority figure, telling you what is and what isn't. That's why they get you at 5 years old when you're doing the globe shit. You don't know better. They convince you it's a globe. Why don't they teach you it's a globe when you're, 10? Why do we care if it's a globe at that age? Because they need to instill it in you from a young age. It's disgusting. Then they put you on the mind control drugs, the ADHD, the Ritalin, the Vyvanse, the Adderall, whatever it is. And you better believe that down the line that's going to play in with some type of disarming of the citizens. Because we know that they want to take our guns away. They can't do it overnight. All right, if they did, people would get upset. They'd rebel. If they said, okay, everyone, tomorrow hand in all your guns, you better believe that everybody's arming themselves to the teeth and they're going to fight back to protect their right to bear arms. So they can't take them away now. They can't take them away in a week. They can't do it in a month or a year or 10 years. All right, you know what they can do, though? They can put your children on mind control drugs like ADHD and Ritalin and Adderall and all these things because they have attention problems, they say, right? And then down the line, they can pass a bill that says if anyone has ever been prescribed Adderall or Vyvanse or Ritalin, they're now qualified or not qualified to own a weapon. So they're going to get your children in advance by putting them on this medication and then later pass a law that nobody knows about because they'll distract you from the, when they pass it. And then they're going to regulate and say anyone that's prescribed these drugs over time, and you better believe they have medical records saying little Johnny was on Adderall or Vyvanse or Ritalin or whatever, that he's no longer qualified to possess a firearm. And eventually, if all of these people are on these things eventually, because they're saying all these kids have ADHD more and more often, then they're going to profit from it, and they're also going to steal your guns. It's a long con. They're not going to take them right away. They're going to get the next generation to make sure they can't get them or own them or possess them. That's the trick, and that's the deception. And people are just looking at it as, oh, my kid has attention problems. He's not doing good in school, so let's put him on this medication to help him. No, it's a double-pronged effect. It's going to hurt you both ways. The medication's not natural, right? Little Johnny doesn't have a problem with school. He's not supposed to be in school. And they're going to take your guns away because you're on mind control drugs. It's a mind control drug, right? And once they pass a bill that says you can't own a gun, that's it. So it's a long con. They're going to get to you no matter what. So that's a deception in itself. And people can't even see through that. People can't even see through the fucking chemtrails or the GMO or the fluoride. There's not a lot of us out there. It's really sad. Yeah, we need to unite in great force, in great numbers to convince people. If they see enough people, it's the bandwagon mentality. The sheep follow the herd. If they see enough people that are believing in flat Earth, or not believing, but knowing, I should say, in flat Earth, then they will jump on the bandwagon. But it's only because it'll be popular then. Yep, NASA, they are magicians. You better believe that with $85 billion, they have some awesome technology that we can't even fathom, and they're using it to convince us. And it's only going to get better. That's the sad part. If we don't expose this shit now, it's going to get better. But like Dell says, he'll come out and go, oh, well, they're basically, releasing this stuff to us to see. They would meticulously look through these videos and point out these anomalies and not release it to the public if they were trying to hide it. But the fact that they're letting these things get out, the wire harnesses, the guy pulling on the guy's wire, the guy floating across with the harness, all these things that we see, the bubbles, there wouldn't be a single video out there that has bubbles in space or anything like that if they didn't want that to get out, right? They would have stopped it from getting out, but they're letting it out for a reason, and that's what I have to wonder about. Why? Why are they putting this stuff out there? Yes, but without money, all the world's economy would collapse. Well, it depends on who uses the money, and all these people with the money, the wealth. You need rich people to have poor people. You need expensive cars to drive people's motivation to do things and work harder. You need the economy for the matrix to work. And if we don't, obviously we'd have communism, which doesn't work either. I'm not going to sit here and promote communism, but having the same thing, it doesn't work. I think, if we were all anarchists and we lived on our own means and we took our own land and, defended it and kept our own boundaries back like our ancestors did, so they say, then that would be great. We can go back to natural humans, much like the Indians. That story. We all came here from another country and we killed all these people and established a free country. But we had to, have a genocide of people before we can take their land. So this country's built on terrible things. It's also built by Freemasons. It's built by all these things that we see in our reality today that are playing against us. So it's, I don't want to speculate too much about all that, but it's not good. I don't know where we're going to go with this. I don't know how this infighting is going to progress. People have to realize that they've been deceived, they're being lied to, and the world is not what they tell us. Most definitely. Now, I'm not a brainiac. I'm not a real smart kid, but people who know me, they know I'm of sound mind. They know I'm not crazy. And when I talk about these things with them, they look at me and they're like, "What? Like, what is this guy saying?" Like, they know I'm not crazy, but they hear me talking about flat Earth. I told people at my job, they said, "Hey, Ray, do you believe aliens exist?" And I said, well, I said, you really don't want to ask me that type of question because, you're going to go down a pretty deep rabbit hole here. And they're like, no, tell us, what's up? And I said, well, aliens and all that. I said, I don't believe in any of that. I actually believe that the Earth is flat. And I was, back then I was using the word believe because I it was new to it. I did believe in it, but now I have, measurable proof, and there's things that can tell me for a fact that it's not a globe. And people looked at me at my job and they're like, oh my God, like, what did this guy just say? Not only that though, but now my bosses think I'm the most truthful and like honest person ever, because I was, I divulged information like that without worrying about it. I was just like, yeah, I think it's flat. And they're like, whoa, like this person's like, there's no filter. He just told us what he believes. He didn't hide anything. He must be the most truthful person in the world. So it had a positive effect, and it could have had a negative effect as well. But, I show people what I do in my reality, and I tell them things, and I try not to mislead people or lie to them or hide anything. I want to be honest with people. So that's why I decided to come on here and propose the topic, who can we trust? I see people fighting that I support both sides. I see people going off into the fucking right wing and left wing, talking about politics. We know politics are fake. I see people here fighting with each other about models that we shouldn't even be talking about this. It's, I'm just an observer. I'm just on the outside looking in. I have no horse in this race. I'd like to eventually come out and start putting out content, but you better believe that when I do, I'm not going to be throwing up hand signs. I'm not going to be associating myself with other people. All right? I don't want any guilt by association going on. And I hope other people can understand that and realize it and stop associating with other people. We're all in this together. They say there's no leaders in the flat earth. That is true. There are no leaders. There should be no leaders. We all should be our own thing. Now, I see a group like Globebusters coming together, right? And they're all sitting together. Oh, they're talking about this and that. That's fine. We're all coming together on a topic. I get it. But that looks like an organization to me now, all right, that has regular shows. I'm going to come on here and just talk whenever I feel like it. I'm not going to have a regular fucking showing of when I come on and do stuff. I'm not going to try to create content in advance and display it to you guys. I'm just going to come on and express what I feel. These are my opinions. I see a billboard go up. I see Flat Earth Asshole. I see IPS. I'm wondering, well, how did all this happen in the same week? What's going on? So I'm going to help you recognize patterns. I'm going to try not to, dive into too much speculation. The best way to control a movement is to lead a movement. Yes, they want to have leaders come out and claim that they're leaders, or not claim they're leaders, but lead it inadvertently or indirectly. And, the land, the ice wall, all this shit, like, there could be more life. Yeah, there's all these things, we don't know. Like Del says, we don't know. We have to go out. We have to measure. We have to test. We have to explore. Believe me, they're never, ever going to Antarctica. Do you have any idea what a trip to Antarctica would cost? The size of the boat, the supplies, the foreknowledge that we would give out. We can't say if there is more land or not. We'd have to go find out. I have no idea. But a trip like that, they would know about that a mile away. They would see that coming a mile away, and they would stop us, right? Especially if we can't do it. But that would be proof that, hey, why can't we go here? Oh, there's a treaty. Okay, great. Well, that would confirm it for me that there's something going on. Yeah, you're right. They say there's no leaders, and they tell you what to do, but if they say there's no leaders, and it's kind of like what Antonio said, I have to support him for a little bit. He goes, Dell won't associate or mention any of these people or affiliate with them, but by talking about them alone, about the deception or whatever that they're pulling over on people, just by talking about them is associating himself with them because he's bringing them up. See, if we avoid talking about people entirely, then we can't warn people of anything, but we also don't promote them positively or negatively. Any publicity is publicity, good or bad. And normally bad publicity is the best type of publicity because, people always like bad news. They want to listen to the news because so-and-so did this, there was a murder here, this and that. It's exciting. If you keep hearing about good things all day, people are like, okay, there's no entertainment behind good things. Well, there is for some people, but, people are more attracted to to the evil aspect of the news. An expedition planned. I swear I would love to drop everything that I'm doing in my life and join an expedition like that, but who's to say that we don't take a boat out there and they just fucking kill everybody on the boat or something? You know, like, you got to think about that too. This is a serious topic we're talking about. If it does spread successfully, then it's possible that this would be the end of the Matrix, the globe lie, all this stuff. So if there's actually something going forward that says, hey, this is gonna take off and they're going to expose this, I'm pretty sure they would try their best to eradicate those people and you know, make them go dark, kill them. Yeah, there's, you know, sailing, whether it's a barge, who the fuck knows what they're going to do. I'll support it, you know, I'll look into it, I will talk about it, but it's all a bunch of empty gestures right now, in my opinion, until somebody puts forward some type of proof that they're going to do it. Well, if you go south enough, apparently you'll hit something, so who the fuck knows? Just give me 1 sec, guys, I'm going to get some water. I was out on a boat today, and it's flat out there, man. It's flat, and it's actually nice. There were a lot of chemtrails in the sky, though, so it was kind of hazy. But I saw New York from 30 miles away. That right there, I was like, wow, I can see the skyline, and I can see all around me. It's just, you know, Long Island Sound, but I look around, and everywhere I look, it's just completely flat, no sign of curvature. I could see boats as far as the eye can see, literally. That's why they say it's as far as the eye can see. And the boats were there, and, you know, I didn't see anything go over any curvature. I just saw them go out of my distance, and I still saw things. See, I saw the boat disappear, but I could still see the land mass behind the boat. No one brings that up. Like, a little tiny object, yeah, we can see that disappear, and it's just going away from us, and eventually we can't see it anymore. But I can still see the land mass that's probably 20 miles beyond that little boat that disappeared. So what curve did that go over if I can see something further from the object that disappeared? Nobody talks about that. Oh, man. That's good. Drink water, guys. Don't drink fluoride water. Just drink water. Excuse me. Oh, my God. All right, I've been doing this for 2 hours now. This is my introduction to this. I really... I'm going to start doing more of these when I feel like I need to. This was kind of like a test run. I appreciate you guys joining me. If you're subscribers, that's great. I could care less if you subscribe or not. I'm just going to make content like this. I'm going to put my voice out there, and I hope some people will see this. Flat Earth Asshole, Dell, Antonio, ODD, Eric Dubay, all you guys. Like, you know, I am just the external viewer looking at this, and this is my chance to come on and express what I think. I'm very open-minded. I'm very I don't judge people too quickly, and I judge you by your content and your actions and the way that things progress from the point that you made content to now, you know, because people could change. Look at Joe Rogan. He flipped. So I judged Joe Rogan. I loved Joe Rogan for so long until I saw that he flipped on something that didn't make sense. Now it's obvious he's a shill. All right, so if I like your content and you keep it up and you don't have anything that makes me, you know, suspicious of your activities or your involvement with people, then you're good, right? It's when you start involving yourself with people that don't have really any good stuff out there that proves that they're genuine, then I'm going to start getting a little skeptical. So that's about it, guys. I'm going to sign off for a little bit now. I might be back, but I appreciate you guys sticking around. Thanks for listening. Thanks for checking in and giving me some chat. We're going to continue this as we go, but I just wanted to put my name and my voice out there. I'm going to try to get this camera better too. And yeah, so appreciate it very much, and we'll check back together very shortly after I see some new stuff out there. So keep looking, be on your guard, be aware of everything around you, look at things twice, discern as best as you can, and avoid the deception. That's all I can say. It's a pleasure talking to you guys. Talk to you soon. Where is the... There it is. Boom.